Welcome to another episode of the Muffed Sports Show. I'm your host, Hayden Haynes, and join me this week, back at it again, Seth Killen, Jack Leventree, Braxton
Yo,
McKinney, and his cat, Leonidas. He was here for a minute. He's in timeout. Oh, Braxton's bringing him back. Look at that guy.
Hello,
hey,
everybody. This is young Leo. He's a Bengal.
Little Bengal representing for the Super Bowl pod, but we got a big show, obviously, to break down the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. We're going to touch on some of the trade rumors early on here just to get started, whether, where Myles Garrett's going to end up, Cooper Cup, and maybe some other guys. But for now, we got that to start out with, obviously, breaking down our predictions and also Super Bowl MVP prediction, along with a little bit at the end, just some NBA talk, just for, quick fire off your thoughts on how these big trades just happen and, what we think about the rest of the season for the NBA. So to get that out the way, any thoughts so far on Myles Garrett and his trade request? I know we talked about it a little bit this morning, but is there anything anybody wants to bring up that we haven't mentioned yet, about where we think he might end up and what makes the most sense?
I'm glad he's leaving.
Shoot.
I know
I'll say
you are.
that.
Yeah, he deserves better. He's a superstar.
I agree.
He should be
He
on a
does, yeah.
superstar roster. I have zero I have zero insight. I have zero predictions as to where he could end up. I sent that NFL rumors tweet in the group this morning. I could have sworn for the first 30 minutes, I thought it said Panthers, not partners.
Me too.
So might
Kind of,
be
I can
a
see that.
tad dyslexic, but
Yeah.
It was
I
I
don't
mean,
early.
know.
like the Panthers are not a Super Bowl contender, but
I know
good for them.
Caleb
Maybe they're
thinks so.
throwing bro the bag. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I
you
was
got
thinking.
to.
Like he
Gotta
might
be
be getting
throwing
like a
bro the bag.
200 million 6-year deal.
Dude. So what is he right now? He's 29, I believe. He's played 8 years in the league. So, obviously defensive player of the year guy every year, last couple of years, candidate or he's won it. It's been like him and TJ Watt. Obviously Hutch could have been it this year if he was healthy. But
Yeah,
Khalil Mack was
definitely.
a guy I brought up as a comp, whether you want to talk about him and the Bears and how that worked out, or just in general how he lines up, comparing wise to Myles Garrett. I felt like that was a good comp because of the age and the production, and
I
where they're
think
at.
Miles Garrett's better than Khalil Mack ever has been.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's one of those dudes that like is a freak of nature. You see him
Yeah.
playing basketball in the offseason. He's built obviously like the biggest, outside linebacker or edge that we have seen in the last, 20 plus years, I guess. I mean, there's really
He's
nobody.
a
He
freak.
he's kind of like a Derrick Henry of defensive players. I feel like to me, that's why I think he's going to play a little bit longer than people think. But at the same time, I get, not wanting to overpay because he is a little older, but at the same time, he's producing a lot. I feel like
Yeah.
you have a team like whether it's the Lions with Hutch or I don't know, somebody with other good help on the D line that could use him that would take off a lot of the pressure. Like if he goes to the Lions, man, I mean,
Ooh.
that could really help them out, even though they just lost their coordinators and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
that
How would you
defense,
stop them?
that defense
You
would be
wouldn't.
crazy.
I don't think you would. The
I don't think
injuries
you
is probably
could.
the only way.
I
But
mean,
how do they afford that is
They
what I don't
can't.
know,
they
They
can't,
can't.
dude.
No way.
Because they got to pay Hutch. They got to pay Branch. They have a lot of
Yeah.
salaries, a lot
Gibbs
of
and
contracts coming
yeah,
up. Gibbs,
They're probably going to
Jamo,
pay Joseph soon.
yeah, Kirby.
yeah, and they got
Um
Yeah, there's
Panay
no way.
Sewell in the trenches already.
I
They're
mean,
gonna
they
pay.
they paid him and Monra and Jared Goff this last year, so they already put a bag towards
Jesus,
all three of them. So I mean, they really are limited to what they could do. Now, a team that I've seen floated out obviously was probably in that message you sent Braxton, but he mentioned he would like to play alongside Jaden Daniels. I think the Commanders would love that. That's a team
Ooh.
that really is like bad on defense. We saw that
they
couldn't
they
stop a
need,
nosebleed.
yeah, they need a defensive lineman. They need if they had a beast, I hate to say it, I feel like all of the offensive pressure would be put on him, put on stopping him, and they wouldn't have anybody else to supplement that. I
The one
mean,
thing
maybe
is
they've got
they
somebody
have
that can
Jonathan
free up.
Allen, but that's about it. I mean, he's a little bit
Payne, they got Deron Payne.
Deron Payne, like their interior is good. They just don't have an edge. Obviously, they gave away Sweat to the Bears last year.
Yeah.
I don't. They had Frankie Louvu as an outside linebacker who was pretty solid for him. So I mean, they got some guys, but in Dan Quinn's system, I feel like he would probably pop off. I mean, he's just a beast. So I mean, you put him in any system, it doesn't really matter. But Commanders, I think an NFC direction is what I'm looking at. More of a way to get him out the AFC so the Browns don't have to deal with them, especially not in the North. He's not going to the
Somehow
Bengals.
the Eagles are gonna get his ass
Somehow, bro.
What if
Somehow.
he went to the Steelers?
or the
That
Chiefs.
would be the craziest thing ever.
Bro, if he went to the Steelers after all the shit that he said,
No, he would
there's
deny.
no
He
way.
would be like, "No, I'm not going
I don't
there."
think we could pay him enough.
They wouldn't even ever consider that either.
See, it's not even the money that's an issue for me as a Bears fan. It's just like the assets we'd have to give up. Like I
Yeah.
saw Kyler Gordon and our first round pick this year, a second round pick next year, and then another second. And I'm just like, bro, that's a lot, man. Like, and for some teams, if you got that and like whatever, go ahead and give it up. But like, I just think the Bears are closer to like, I don't know. I just don't think I'm not gonna say we don't need Miles Garrett, but like I think where we stand as a team right now, we need the capital, we need the assets. Like we have
Yeah.
the cap money, that's fine. But I just think the picks, man, we need the picks. We need that premier O-line pick. And I think you get that at 10, Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just
And
me.
I was just playing devil's advocate because it's like you hear all the time, win now with your rookie quarterback while they're on the rookie deal.
I get that.
Like that's the only thing I'm thinking is like for the Bears, right? Hypothetically, you send that first round pick, which is number 10, a next year second or this year's second. I know that's a good pick that you
Oof.
guys have. Or one of those because you have two second round picks, right? So
Yeah, we have the 39th and the 41st.
so you send the 10th and the 41st, right? And that sounds like whatever. And you send a player, blah, blah, blah. Let's just say hypothetically. You get Miles Garrett. I mean, you still have your 40-some round, 43rd, whatever pick. You get a good player, whether it's, best player available or you just address the line, whatever. But then the offseason, I mean, you guys still have a lot of cap space. You're like top
Yeah, I
10.
mean, you can hit free agency too, but I think the goal, what Ryan Poles and like Ben Johnson want to do, as far as what I can tell, is like I think they want to go veteran center. They don't really feel like right now Caleb's ready to go with a rookie center and have those growing pains.
And see,
So
that's
go
why they want to
veteran
get the
center.
Falcon center because, I mean, he's been
They
solid.
threw that out on the Barstool podcast. They're like, yo, they need to go get the Falcon center. He's
Drew
a dog.
Dahlman,
Kyle
he's good.
Long. Kyle Long said that. He said he's a dog. They need to get that guy and then get rookies on the outsides. You don't want to really build from the inside out, he said. You want to build from the outside in. So we'll see
I
what
I don't
happens.
think
Yeah.
that'd be a bad. I don't think that'd be a bad move. I agree. You don't really want a rookie or a young center matched up, paired up with Caleb Williams.
Yeah, no.
You need
I
somebody
agree with that.
experienced.
Yeah.
Because the center is like the Mike linebacker for defense, or for offense, like they're calling the protections and the blitzes and here fire, this, that, the third, whatever they say.
Mhm.
But they be calling it out. And like if you leave that up to a rookie center and say you're playing the Vikings, which we will be, I mean, they're gonna if it's still Brian Flores, I mean,
Who's
you're gonna put Bro in
who's
a
the
blender.
tackle that you guys got some decent production from? The right tackle?
Are you talking about the right or the left?
I'm thinking it's the right tackle, the one that was
From
pretty
Tennessee?
solid. Yeah, right.
Darnell Wright. He's
Okay, Darnell.
great.
So Darnell Wright, you have him. You really
We
could
have
just
him.
like pay Drew Dahlman, the center from the Falcons. You address that spot. Then you could, I don't know, still draft. Okay, like to me, this is what I would do. I would probably say Browns, could you do a 2026 NFL draft first round pick instead of this year's? You know what I'm saying? So then, like, that's the best like case scenario. You
I
guys
thought you
keep
meant a
this year.
sixth-round pick. I was like, hell yeah.
No. 2026 first, this year's second, and then like a fourth and like a player or something. I'm just spitballing here. So that way you guys keep the 10th, right?
Yeah.
You'd take tackle, whether it's the guy from LSU, Will Campbell, or the
I
tackle
like the
from
guy
Texas.
Bama.
No, you're talking about Tyler Booker, the guard.
Is he a guard? He's a
He's
guard.
a guard. I mean, he'd be good, dude. It's just guards don't go so high anymore. But
Yeah, guards don't really go that high.
I just feel like there's a way that y'all could get Myles Garrett and address the O-line is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but then it's like then we don't have that running back. We kind of need one. I mean,
Free agency, though, you could get somebody.
well, that's what we went with last year, and like it was very.
Swift's still on contract, right? So you get
I like Roshan Johnson as the power back.
I like
We
him
need
too.
another
Yeah.
back that like is shifty, but not at 10. If we take Ashton Genty,
No.
I will never watch a fucking game.
You will, but it's all
I,
right.
I will, but I'm
They'll
not
look they'll look
happy about it.
fire. I mean, they'll look
It
fire
would
on
look, yeah.
paper.
I
I was
mean,
really hoping DeAndre Swift had way more production this year than he
oh Lord, me
did.
both.
That really
He
just
had
shows that how good the Eagles' offensive line is and that run
yeah.
scheme and how they propped
Facts.
him up to be that good.
Like I want a
Because
Bijan back, bro. I want someone
yeah,
like Bijan.
That's the thing.
a game
Y'all could
changer.
get a Bijan-esque back in that 32nd or 30, whatever pick it is that you'll have
Get
from the
Judkins if
Panthers.
he's still there.
Exactly. You could get Judkins or Travion Henderson from Ohio State. They're freaking amazing backs. This whole class is actually deep. So I mean,
Johnson from Iowa. Is it
yeah.
Iowa?
Yeah, and you got Dylan Sampson from Tennessee. I mean, you got guys. It's just a
I
deep
like Sampson,
class.
but like he's definitely last on my list.
North Carolina had a good back, Amarian
I feel like
Hampton.
Sampson ended the year on like a mid note.
Let's not forget the SEC rushing yards top three leader, Jaquez Hunter.
Yes, yes, very true. No, this is a
He's
deep
probably
class.
he's probably a third round pick, but that dude is a beast.
He is a
He's
beast.
I
he
mean,
should go higher, in my opinion. He had a good senior bowl, I'm pretty sure. So
well,
If
I
it was
guess
a
this
weak class, he probably would.
this all
yeah.
stems from the Miles Garrett conversation. So, gun to your head, where's he going? Where if you had to pick one team, like where's Garrett gonna be at when the
So
season starts?
if I had to pick one team, I'm actually gonna go with the Commanders.
I think that's a safe bet.
Just
I like
because they
that.
have literally the youngest quarterback, or the youngest quarterback with the most that has been shown so far. Jaden almost got to the Super Bowl, whatever. You have that defense that's raw, that is really just needing a pass rush.
I feel
Your
like they're not
secondary is
paying.
okay,
They're not paying a lot of players
right? I
either.
mean, you're
Yeah.
not. You get paid like
You just pay
Harry,
Terry, maybe Brian Robinson,
Jonathan
maybe.
Allen, Brian Robinson's
Yeah.
not getting paid anything. So I
Yeah,
mean,
because Jaden's on the rookie deal too. So
everybody on the offense is cheap. I mean, you got guys, on the O line and D line that you're paying, but that's about it. Maybe in
I
the
mean,
secondary, but
Eckler probably won't be around too much longer anyway.
Yeah.
to me that
So
makes
Those
the
fumbles,
most
no.
sense.
Yeah,
But
nah.
I don't know. What do y'all
In
think?
my mind, I could see him going to the Bills. They're not paying a lot of people, and him matched up with Von Miller, that would
Holy,
be disgusting. And
That would be
they need
nasty.
him.
I can
aren't
see
they
that being
paying
a real
Vaughn a
positive.
bag?
They are
They
paying
are
him.
paying Vaughn back, but who else are they paying besides Matt Milano,
Well, I
like,
heard the
Yeah.
and
whole
Josh
reason
Allen?
they cut so many people or let people walk is because of Von Miller's contract.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
he signed that 6-year, $120 million contract, but
Jesus.
Good lord.
they can rearrange some money, I guess. Next year's cap hit is 23 million.
Jeez, dude.
Um,
That's like Aaron Donald money to me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not saying Von Miller's not
he's
great.
36.
That's what I'm saying.
No
That's
Von
insane.
way.
Von Miller's 36.
Yeah, he's
They gave him a
36.
6-year
Oof,
deal.
They're
yeah, you're
crazy. They're
wild,
Hey,
bro.
sign
crazy.
this. I
they're
hope you're still playing when
crazy.
you're
Bro,
42.
he won a Super Bowl and he said, "I'm going to the Bills for 120 million." See you.
I
I
mean, I
can't
get
blame
it.
him.
I
I
can't.
Yeah,
get it.
Wait, so
But see, that's where I think he's different than Miles Garrett. Like, I don't think a lot of people know this or seem to realize it, but Miles Garrett is actually like a very smart guy.
He is,
yeah,
yeah. He's
he
smart.
is.
Very, very smart. So, like, I think at this point in his career, he's gonna be able to get best of both worlds. I'm gonna get my bag, and I'm gonna be on like a Super Bowl contending team. And he's so much younger that I think like I don't know. I think he's able to elevate a team more so than Von Miller is able to elevate a team
And
right
something
now.
about Dan Quinn and him, I could see fitting and meshing. And I think like that would be a weird thing to see, like the Commanders just having an elite defense out of nowhere. But like they kind of had that, 5 years ago or whatever it was, like when they had a ton of guys with Sweat or Montez Sweat, and who was the other edge next to him? I don't know why I can't
Jonathan
remember.
Allen.
Well, they had Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, all these guys, but like they had a better defense about 5 years ago. So I
Yeah,
mean,
they
I'm
got
just
rid of somebody else around the same time
yeah,
they got
I don't know
rid of
why I'm
Sweat.
blanking right now, but they had two good
Me
edges,
too.
right? And they could totally flip the switch with Miles Garrett. I think that they were really close to being a good, Super Bowl contending team, obviously, but they just had no defense to stop the Eagles. And that's a weak division.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you guys know that Miles Garrett bought a minority stake in the Cavs?
Did he really?
Yeah, back in 2023.
And now the
That's
Cavs
what
are
I'm.
really
Now
good.
the Cavs are
Yeah.
eating.
I was
what's
just
he worth to
thinking
the
when
Bengals?
I was just thinking when you said he was a smart player.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
remember him making some smart business decision, and that's what it was. Like that's a pretty huge deal.
I
And I
mean,
agree. He wants to go somewhere where he can contend and get a bag. So to Hayden's point, going to the Commanders would be a very smart move. And I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me on what the Bills can afford since they did give Von Miller such a large bag. But his production this year was so low, and I feel like that's because offenses could focus so much on him and not other aspects of that defensive line. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see them because Miles Garrett is a 120 million 6 year type of guy.
I'm looking
You
at the
know what I mean?
Bills. I'm looking at the Bills right now. They are 10 million below the cap. And they're also paying Josh Allen, obviously 43 million a year next year. Von Miller's second on the team in most money, 23
That's
million.
unreal.
They're paying Ed Oliver 20 million, Deion Dawkins, their star tackle, 19, Matt Milano 15, Dawson Knox 14 million for Dawson Knox is crazy to be a
That's
tight end
crazy.
too. Why are
He's
you
getting
paying?
paid.
Rob
He's
Why do
getting
they
paid
Halfback.
do
more than
that?
Saquon Barkley.
I'm
That's
not gonna lie.
insane.
They lose, and I know everybody cries and they're like, "Oh, they got robbed by the refs and all that." That's true to a degree. Sometimes they get bad calls, whatever. But dude, they're kind of mismanaging Josh Allen's window.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
dude. I mean, if you're Josh Allen, at one point does it become like I don't know how much longer I want to be in Buffalo.
And he loves it there. It's just like, how much losing can you take to the
Yeah.
Chiefs?
Literally
To the
to the
Chiefs.
Chiefs in the
Dude,
playoffs
bro
every
could go,
time.
dude. Bro could go to the NFC and run it,
Oh
run it.
my
He could run the
goodness.
NFC.
I don't even know
Dude.
where, but like
Where
Josh
where
anybody,
where
Allen
would
should
y'all
go to
put him?
dude.
Steelers.
Imagine Jerry's like, screw Dak. I'm getting me Josh Allen.
Oh,
It just
Imagine Josh
literally.
Allen on the 49ers.
Okay, now that's
oh
crazy
my
because he's
goodness.
from California, Brack. So you might be
I
cooking.
know.
You might be cooking.
Dude, NFC
Wait.
team, he could have Debo, Brandon
That's
Christian
Ayuk.
that's a
McCaffrey,
team that you could literally
George Kittle.
you could give like Brock Purdy right now and like all these Debo, all these Fred Warner, to the Bills
Yeah.
and draft picks and say, give me Josh.
Dude, but
Exactly. I could see that happening.
don't sleep on the fact that like I feel like a lot of people aren't giving the Raiders credit, bro. I think they're a dark horse to make some really splashy moves in free agency in the draft. I really
Yeah, I
do.
mean they
Like
got
I think,
a lot of
is
smart
not
people
gonna
now.
be a part of an ass organization. He just ain't gonna
yeah.
let that happen, bro.
Are they going to draft Shador?
I don't know. I mean they're at 6. They probably have to move up a little.
They
They would
should get
have
Josh
to.
Allen.
I don't, I mean,
Wow.
because Jackson Dart has moved in front of Shador in the draft ratings.
A little bit. Yeah, I think that's fair.
So,
I've
I
never been
mean,
that high on Shador, bro. I think
I
he's
think
first
he's
run
good.
talent, but
his
like
his fundamentals are good, but his athleticism is a hit compared to the other QBs in
Like
this
he's not
class.
his dad. He's not his dad
He's not his
athletically.
dad,
Mm-mm.
no.
But I mean, he's a
Neither is his
good
brother.
passer. People compare
He's
him to
got
like
good fundamentals, yeah.
they think he's like a Tom Brady. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like with the
who's a
pat
better athlete as a son, Bronny or Shador?
Shador.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
Shador.
that was unanimous.
Well, I want to see. I mean,
Ronnie's
Bronny's.
fire, like athletically. He can dunk and jump and he's 6'2",
Who's
but it's
better in
like,
their respective sport as a son?
oh, it's clearly
Well,
Shador.
I mean,
Shador.
it is Shador, but like Bronny's in the NBA.
Yeah,
So
but
right
how did he
now,
get there with
Nepotism.
Legoat?
Exactly. That was.
I
Yeah. I mean,
guess
Bronny was picked 55.
Dude, Shador's like Heisman finalist.
Yeah.
that's
I
true.
Whatever.
mean, I
I
was
guess so.
listening to Jameis Winston on Part of My Take today. He voted Shador for the Heisman.
Yeah. He was balling.
Like,
I mean, I
Really?
can't
He
lie. He
was.
was.
yeah.
He made
I mean,
Colorado something.
he did. I mean, it was Travis for the most
Travis, yeah.
part, but they couldn't have done that without Shador. I think Shador is a game changer. I mean, not a that's a I don't know if I phrased that right. I wouldn't say a game changer, but Shador is really good. He's got a lot of good aspects. He's really talented, but
I think he does fit with the Raiders
sorry.
because Tom Brady and him already have some connection. Plus, I think his
That was his
coaching
trainer.
staff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what he got Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly now, and also I was watching something saying like their O line's actually not that bad. Like they were actually pretty, highly graded. So I feel like you already give him a better O line than what he was used to. I mean, that's something. Then you have Brock Bowers, right?
He's a
That's
dog.
already a problem in itself. Then you
Yep.
have money to spend. People still like the Raiders brand. It's just like you can
Yeah,
work with that. I don't know.
you can, and I don't know who they have on the outside that is a true threat.
Well,
But like you said, they've got money to spend, so they can
here's a
get
guy.
somebody.
I mean, Cooper Kupp we're about to talk about. Is there a chance
Ooh.
that he ends up on a team like that needs a solid like a bona fide one?
Ooh.
I low key take him. I'd take
I
him.
Is Cooper Cup a one in 2025?
I don't
No,
I
think
don't
he's a
think
but for the
one.
so.
Raiders, he could be like a one, even though you have Brock Bowers as your real one.
Yeah,
and the Packers.
Packers need an elite wide receiver. They
And
want
that was just a slightly viral story recently with what Josh Jacobs
Josh,
did.
yeah.
So I
So
mean,
yeah,
let's bring that up. Josh Jacobs did say we need a elite wide receiver one. Yeah, I like the guys, but
and
we need
then
somebody that's
Wicks.
a vet.
Did you see what
Wicks.
Wicks tried to say?
Dontavian Wicks was like, laughing at him on Twitter.
Laughing faces with thumb down emoji. It's like I couldn't. I bet you. Sure, maybe he was joking, but like at the same time, like what you talking about? I'm one. It's like, bro,
You're
you
not
caught
even the
40 passes
one.
all year, brother.
yeah.
Like,
I've heard some arguments that everyone on that team is a wide receiver one.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
All right,
because
I
someone's
think
got to be the one. I mean,
the clear one is Christian Watson, but he's got
he's
no,
hurt
injury
all the
problems.
time.
He's
Yeah.
got injury problems,
yeah,
but when
okay,
Yeah.
he's
you're right.
healthy, he's
You're right.
elite.
You're
When
right.
he's healthy,
Here's
he's
how it
really
is
good.
though. It's like Christian Watson, deep threat. Jaden Reed, gadget guy, and then Wicks is like your actual like do it all wide receiver. He's just a third guy. Like it's just
Yeah,
hard for him to
I
really
don't
get
know,
the
dude.
ball.
Watson is like, I mean, what I've learned from about Christian Watson is, you know, whether you got or you audience whatever like sports betting, what I've realized is Christian Watson is good for one deep ball a game, and that's like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't disagree with that.
That's valid.
He's not
And
a utility
he
guy. He's
might
not all
drop
over
it
the
too.
place. He might
Like
drop that bitch.
if you bet his over, you're either gonna get really close to it or it's gonna hit because he's gonna get one long shot, and if he drops it, he's probably not gonna get another chance. If he catches it, it's gonna be a big long shot. But I
Yeah,
mean, you don't see
That's a
him running
guy.
across the middle or running slants or running out routes.
Yeah.
Like you just don't see that from
He's
him.
not getting a re-sign for sure. His contract's up in like a year, I guess. I mean, they're probably not going to even accept his fifth year option because he was a first rounder. I
He
don't
was
know.
right.
Was
Didn't he
he? Or
come
he was a
from
second?
North
No,
Dakota State too?
I think he was a first rounder from North Dakota State. And
Yeah, it was a big deal
you get a
that the
fifth year
Packers.
option as a first rounder, so they probably decline it. I'm assuming
How could you? I mean,
they're not going to pick it up.
we're about to let Tevin Jenkins go, arguably our best offensive lineman when he's on the field. But like, unfortunately, business is business, and I can't hand you millions of dollars not knowing if you're going to be there. What they say, the best ability is availability.
Availability, yeah. So with that being said, Cooper Cup's a guy that's been hurt. He's older. I mean, he was the Triple
That's
Crown
true.
winner in 2021,
yeah,
MVP, possibly the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, not possibly, he
he
was, but
was.
I'm saying like he's a guy that I said possibly, I guess, because I'm thinking OBJ got hurt and he was on track to be the MVP. Then Cooper Cup had to step up. But Cup was a dog that year, so we can't discredit that. But after that, he's only been in that 800 to 900 yard range, missing a few games. So, who is a team that you guys want to see Cooper Cup go to?
Steelers, honestly, I think that
I'd
could
love
be
to see that.
crazy. They need a
Yeah.
Him
wide
paired
receiver,
up,
a true
With
one besides
Fields?
Pickens.
him paired up with George Pickens would
It'd
be
be
deadly.
nasty. It'd
Like
be
George
nasty.
Pickens on one side, Cooper Cup on the other, and the Cooper Cup strikes me as the type of guy. He's not looking for a bag. Maybe he is, but I think he'd settle for like 10 to 15 a year, which is
So
And
low
I
at
would be
that
so
position.
lit.
he's got 2 more years on his deal with the Rams, and it's about 20 million a year. But the Rams said
Oh damn.
they would eat some of that money, meaning like you're not gonna pay him all that 20 million if you get him. So like somebody's getting him for a cheap deal.
I know they
Maybe
said that
15 to 17.
Right, something.
Yeah,
they
12
said
to
they were
17.
gonna be willing to work with him on like kind of like how the Justin Fields
Who
thing,
does
I
he
guess.
yeah, like who does he have in the league that's a connection you think? Like that's like, oh, I need to go play with that guy. Because
He
I'm just
went, where did he go to college?
No way he goes to the
Cooper
Lions.
Cup was like a small school, right? Like
Yeah,
it,
he
Probably
was a
got
small school
Jared
guy.
Goff.
No way he
Okay,
goes back to
that-
play with
that-
Jared
I
Goff.
did
but
see
they're not
that
gonna pay
floated.
another receiver that much
True,
money.
like they don't need that, but I did see that floated out there. I don't know. I mean, is there somebody that's just like, yeah, like we're missing, like he's clearly best friends with other than Stafford?
I
Well,
mean,
he went to Eastern Washington, so I don't think there are any other
Let's see.
competent NFL players from Eastern Washington.
I mean, I could see Mike McDaniel picking him up.
For like
Ooh,
the,
him in Miami would
I
not
mean,
be
yeah.
bad.
oh yeah.
I mean,
The
especially
Bills? Is
because
that weird or no?
Tyreek's
No,
situation
That'd
he's
be
far
just
crispy.
he is a comp to Shakir though.
Yeah, that's true. They kind of need like a league guy.
Oh, Buffalo.
He's a
Wait.
That's what I said, but it's like,
that's what we say. He's a comp to him. I feel like they have the same style of play.
I
Yeah,
don't know,
that's
So
dude. I
fair.
think when Cooper's on and healthy, he's much better than Shakir.
he's
oh, for
way better than,
sure, for
but I'm just saying
sure.
like this the style, the size.
Uh,
Okay, well, here's a
You don't want
connection.
2 1s. I mean, you don't want your one and
Yeah,
two being under 6'2" or
I was
six
looking up.
foot.
I was looking at players that went to Eastern Washington, just like Cooper Cup, and the only guy that I could see making a connection with him is Kendrick Bourne, the wide receiver for the Patriots.
Yeah,
ooh,
that'd
They
be
could use him.
dirty.
They could
That
use
would
him.
be
Yeah,
dirty.
they need a true
well,
number one.
the
Yeah,
Patriots, think if I'm not mistaken, they got pick number 2, and I think they're gonna pick Travis
I could see
if
that.
if he doesn't go 1.
If the
Yeah.
Titans don't take him,
The second
Yeah,
pick is the Browns, but the
I'm sorry.
Patriots are third. I'm pretty
third, yeah.
Okay,
sure. Or is that wrong? I could be
I
wrong
think
about that.
that's correct because
I believe you're
they
right.
won the last game of the season to
And
screw them over and not get the
everybody was
first.
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Titans are 1, Browns 2, Giants are 3.
Oh no, they dropped a 4.
It's because the Patriots won that game. They shouldn't even. It was when Joe Milton cooked,
Yeah, dude.
He
and they were like
cooked.
mad at him, and he was like, "Y'all gonna be mad at me for cooking in one game I get to play?" And I was
Yeah,
like, I mean,
I mean,
And
that's
then
fair.
the coach lost his job like 40 minutes after the game.
after Rod Mayo said, "I'm out." It's like
Yeah.
when the Texans did that with what's his name, Lovey Smith.
Lovey Smith. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, that was so hyped though.
That was
That
lit.
was
That
that
solidified
was
our like.
He helped the Bears.
Oh,
Yeah, but
well, so ass, but
so
whatever.
let's move on. I guess because this the biggest thing we got to talk about is Super Bowl. So clearly Sunday we got Chiefs Eagles repeat or rematch of 2 years ago. Chiefs looking to repeat. And I
three-peat.
also saw that was a thing that was talked about recently. That three-peat term that has been talked about for I guess the Heat
It's
claimed that
patented by
with
Pat
Pat
Riley.
Riley, but he
Mhm.
sold
Yeah.
it. He sold it recently to the
He
NFL.
patented that?
Yeah,
He
and
trademarked. He trademarked it.
yeah,
I'm
but
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
he sold it to the NFL this week, so he made a bag, which is crazy.
Hella bag.
So
Eagles
yeah.
Eagles underdogs by 1.5. I don't know if that line's changed since I've looked at this recently. Somebody can check that if they want. But the Eagles did lose that first Super Bowl they played a couple years ago by 3. We all know how that ended with Juju getting around and getting held by Bradbury, leading to that field goal, and then that was pretty much all she wrote. Even though that was a great game. The Eagles, though, they are different from that team. Clearly, a lot of the defense has changed. Vic Fangio, coordinator, obviously different. They have Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, Zach Bond, who's playing at an elite level this year that they found from a special teams guy off of New Orleans.
That's
And
so
then
crazy.
offensively, I mean, they're pretty much the same other than losing Kelsey. I mean, they got guys still on the O-line that are awesome.
Yeah.
That Saquon Barkley thing is the biggest thing, though. So, I mean, what do we think about him initially and what that looks like for this game? I mean, is there a way he still goes for 150 yards, 2 tutties, or is
Ooh,
that just not happening?
I don't see it, dude. I think you're gonna look. I think you're gonna look to for AJ Brown and Devontae to have big games because
Yeah.
I was hearing today. What was I watching, dude? It was something, but basic. Oh, I hate to keep bringing this up and sound like a degenerate, but it was a guy who bets and stuff. Like one of those guys who like has podcasts about strategies, right? An
Yeah.
old Vegas guy, some big bald guy that wears a fedora. So I trust his ass.
Yeah.
But his co-host was
That's it.
asking him, like, hey, there's so much hype around all the overs this game, like Saquon's overs, like
It's
what do you think about it?
115. I think that's a lock, dude.
Well, he was saying he was like Spagnola is like has pretty much came out and said that they're putting every single bit of defensive effort into stopping Saquon Barkley. So I don't know, man. Like
Can you do it?
I don't know.
Can you
150
do it though?
That's the
Everybody's been trying to do
question.
that.
Yeah, I was
Spags
about
is
to
a
say.
dog when he's calling defense, man. He's a
Yeah.
dog, and I think
Spags got what, 5 Super Bowls?
he's
Something
something,
like
bro.
that.
I think
Clearly,
Saquon scores a touchdown, but like does he have over 115 yards? I don't know, man.
I kind of think he might because here's the reason why. James Cook just went for a big game last, 2 weeks ago when they played the Chiefs. I think James Cook is awesome, but he's not Saquon Barkley. Eagles O line's better than the Bills.
Yeah, but do you think
Yeah.
Spagnuolo was scheming every part of his defense for James Cook?
No, I
No,
don't think he
clearly they were
was.
trying to not let Josh run the ball, and it worked to a degree. I think the fact that you have AJ Brown and Smitty and Goddard and Jalen's legs keep them honest. Like you can't just only solely focus on
That's what
Saquon the
I'm
whole
saying.
game.
That's insane.
I think that AJ Brown will have a good game. I think his props like 3.5 catches. Like he'll probably get that easily,
I
because
think
it's the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Dude.
Goddard's
Goddard,
gonna eat, and I
That's
also
what I
think
heard. I've heard
Devontae
that
Smith
Goddard.
props. Everybody's talking about him. Like he's a lock against the Chiefs. Historically, every time he's played them, he's gotten like 80 to
to be honest,
100.
McDuffie's gonna be on his ass.
No, they said McDuffie's going to be on Brown, and then that Smitty every time they play the Chiefs goes for like 100 yards, and like his prop's like 40 something. Like he's going to hit that, I think. But I don't know whether or not we're talking about props or whatever. I feel like realistically, somebody's going to boom and somebody's going to bust that you're not expecting. But I think
Mhm.
let's talk about the Chiefs. Obviously, we got to mention them. We don't want to talk about them a lot, but um, I mean, Chiefs are trying to do what nobody's ever done. Clearly, the Patriots, we talked about it, have come close, but they didn't. Now, no team has ever done it in the Super Bowl era, even though the Packers did get close. They won the NFL championship in 1965 and followed by winning its first two Super Bowls. Kelsey even stated that all the three-peat talk on stage last year when he said the team's goal was to win three. So, I mean, they were talking about it as soon as they won last year. They want to do it really bad. The NFL clearly, has helped them a little bit along the way, whether you like it or not. I mean, there's been some calls that we've seen left and right that are like pretty
Little.
blatant. Yeah, and I think that the Chiefs obviously have a great team. I'm not going to just say they just get there because they're just the Chiefs, but they clearly do have great coaches, great players, young guys that they draft every year. But to me, it comes down to Patrick Mahomes obviously being one of the best players ever. So I'm slightly leaning the Chiefs right now at the moment. I feel like just because Mahomes is going to do something at the end that the Eagles aren't going to be able to stop, whether it's running or hitting a crazy across the body pass to Kelsey at the end. I don't know. I just think we're gonna have a good game, but it won't be as high
Yeah.
scoring as that first one.
I agree, dude. And I'll
I
tell you
agree.
what, this is the strategy. And I'm telling you, I know this. NFL knows that the fans are onto them about the whole Chiefs stuff, right? So what they're gonna do is they're gonna make sure it's a close game. Harrison Butker is either gonna kick a game-winning field goal or Travis Kelsey is gonna win the game-scoring touchdown. And guess what? When the Chiefs three-peat, I'm telling you, bro, I've thought about this.
Yeah,
NFL is gonna make a fucking bag on this. When the
yeah.
Chiefs three-peat, Travis Kelsey in the confetti center field is gonna fucking propose to Taylor Swift.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen,
People have been
dude.
talking
It's
about
gonna
that.
happen.
I
Dude,
don't,
NFL
I heard that's a line you can bet on. Is Travis
NFL is
Kelsey
gonna
going to
make it a
propose?
good game. They're gonna make sure it's a good game. They're not gonna make it just a Chief blowout. They're gonna make it within a 3 to I'd say 6 point game for sure. And I'm not an NFL's rigged guy, but I have a strong suspicion, bro. They are gonna do everything they can to make sure that scenario happens. I'm telling you.
I
I
believe
I
it.
agree because here's the other thing I think, right? They love this whole Mahomes, Kelsey, Swift thing that they got, Andy Reid, whatever you want to call it. But so they get the three-peat patented thing from Pat Riley this week. That's nothing to just gloss over. I feel like that's something you got to think about, right? They're clearly thinking like, oh, well, we might want to get that just in case. But here's the thing. If they go ahead and get the three-peat out the way, like that's something that's never happened. So they get that whole storyline. The Kelsey Swift thing is hopefully over because he retires. Then after that, let's just say maybe the NFL is banking on the Chiefs not being as cracked, and they're just like, let's just get their era out of the way, no pun intended, right now. And then the next like few years is like obviously somebody new, like whether it's gonna be the Commanders, the Bears, the Lions. I'm just saying, like some of these teams that
It's gonna be the damn Bears.
we're not thinking about. I mean, you never know. The Chiefs weren't,
I
looked
know.
at as one of those teams for a while. But I just think that's what's going to happen. I think you're right.
Yeah,
So
it's correct.
I'm looking at the team stats, and this is including the regular season. We all know that the Chiefs didn't they don't turn on who they are until the playoffs.
Right.
But the Eagles averaged 27.2 points per game to Chiefs 22.6. Opposing points per game got 19.2 for the Chiefs and 17.8 for the Eagles. So that's showing that the Eagles are leading in every category besides pass yards.
Yeah.
But the Eagles secondary is so elite.
Yeah.
Like they don't have an error at any position in their secondary.
I was gonna say their
Like,
defense is probably gonna like I look at Quinion Mitchell and DeJean and Bond and all these guys and I'm like, yeah, they're clamping.
Jalen
I think
Carter,
they're clamping Worthy. I think they're clamping um
Kelsey.
Kelsey is old ass.
yeah,
I think you know what I'm saying. I think
Like,
they're
there's
gonna
a way
stop
they
the
win this
tempo.
game. Like, we're talking strictly ball, just ball,
it's
Oh,
no,
Patrick Mahomes.
no
Yeah, I mean,
politics. I
I
think
think Eagles win. If it's
Yeah.
strictly ball,
if
I
we're
think
Yeah,
just
Eagles
Eagles win.
if
do it
we're just
though.
talking no refs involved, no shady stuff,
Eagles.
the Eagles, I would take them because
Eagles.
their defense is so much better than it was a couple of years ago. Not so much better, but like Vic Fangio alone is pretty good. But there's the stat Mahomes has like never lost to him. So I don't know. It's just
Eagles -4.
ooh,
The spread right now, I looked at it, it's -1.
yeah.
Yeah, bank it.
Minus
-4.
1.5. I see
No,
right
it's
now.
just -1.
Some
Minus
books
one
Or
some books
Chiefs.
have one.
yeah,
Dude,
-1
I
Chiefs.
don't
I'm
I
pretty sure.
don't know, bro. That's so
Yeah.
I feel
That's
if I
like
so
gotta
weird,
if I gotta
bro.
throw a prediction out, it's impossible to bet against Patrick Mahomes. Like he is the definition of a game changer.
yeah.
Like just the way he sees the field, the way he knows how to create space for himself, the way he can find the open hole on every single play. Like it's really hard. But at the same time, like we're talking about, the Eagles have the best defense in the NFL right now, and they have Saquon Barkley
Yeah.
behind the literally the number one offensive line. So, but I mean, hey, Chris Jones is no beast. That Chiefs D line isn't anything to play around with. And like we just said, the arguably best defensive coordinator in the NFL is focusing 100% of his attention on stopping Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, dude. I mean, it's going to be such a good game.
I
To
think
me, it really comes if I had to throw a prediction out there, I hate betting against Patrick Mahomes. It's kind of impossible, but I think that the Eagles win. I don't know. Like I really just who they are, how solid they've been.
Mm.
I hate the dude, but Jalen Hurts always makes the right play. Like he does. He makes
That's
the
valid.
right
No, that's
play.
valid. That's
He
valid.
he
I'm with you there.
he's the best game manager of all time.
he's
He
pretty good.
does
All
he
time?
Oh, that's definitely crazy.
All time, man. You heard
He
it here.
does what he's supposed to do all the time. Like he makes the smart play. He finds the open target. He makes the right read. Like he doesn't do too much. He's not the most flashy player, but he knows.
If they get down early, that's a problem. If the Eagles
Oh,
do,
And
we got a
Yeah, that
live
is a
breaking
problem.
oh, I was
news.
about to say breaking
what?
news here. I
What's
called it.
up?
Steph, you break it, brother.
I called it at the beginning of the year. Jaden Daniels just won Rookie of the Year.
Nice. You did call it. You did
I
call it.
did call it.
Patrick Surtain won Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, he did? Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's kind of. I mean, that's
Is it? Is
it
it?
was a weird year for that.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, he had a great year, but like I don't know. I felt like all I heard all year was, you know,
TJ.
T.J. Watt.
Yep.
All I heard all
So
year was
It was
T.J.
so
Patrick
Watt.
Surtain.
okay, are we? I'm a little confused. So Braxton picked Eagles, but Jack? You picked Eagles too?
I mean, I. It's
I'm
like
picking Eagles.
if you
Oh,
ask me,
That's crazy.
like you said, take away all external variables, right?
all the funny stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles to win that game. I think that they have a better team, but like unfortunately, dude, I just really I just think the Chiefs win. And I hate to say
It's
that.
like I'm so confused by your answer. They're winning, but they're not.
I mean,
It's
it's the
like,
same with
you don't know what
Braxton.
I'm
Braxton
saying
said
I
though?
know what you're
Braxton said
saying, but like
can't bet against the Chiefs, and then he said I'm a big Eagles.
I think my answer.
You can't bet against the Chiefs, but
Okay, fine. If
Saquon
I'm locking
Barkley.
it, if I'm locking it in right now, and I'll put a score with it, bro. I
Yeah,
think
put a score.
Eagles get a dub 27-24.
Okay.
Oof.
All
All
right.
right, Hayden, what's your pick?
I'm gonna go low scoring a little bit. I mean, not too low, but 24-23 Chiefs.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's very likely. I mean, I can see either or winning. I don't think there's
Seth?
a clear winner. Seth, Seth picked Eagles. What's your score
Yeah.
prediction there, Seth?
I'm going low key some offense here. I'm going 32-28.
Mm.
Okay.
Eagles. Okay.
We've all
Yep,
kept it pretty
Eagles.
much within like a 1 to 3 point spread. So I think that's fair. But on the flip side, to counter my own argument about the whole Kelsey thing, it's like also I think the NFL knows how pissed people would be if they let some bullshit like that happen. So maybe they don't set it up. You know what I'm saying?
If it came to a close call, if it came to a controversial call that went in the Chiefs' favor,
Oh,
you're right. Everybody
Oh,
would be pissed.
oh,
don't
But
let
everybody's
it be a
going.
rough on
if
the
it
passer.
if it no, dude, if it's a bad spot on the first down or
Mm-mm.
roughing the passer,
Mm.
unnecessary, uh, you know, or roughing the passer, anything like
Yeah.
that,
Dude, it's over.
it's
Not
over. The
if
NFL is cooked. They're
Patrick.
losing viewers next year.
Yeah, if they
The
go,
NFL is cooked.
if Patrick or Travis go outside, they're definitely going to be hearing something about the refs.
Rough in the
Yeah.
push.
So okay, let's pick. I
Roughing the
guess
puss.
let's pick the Super Bowl MVP. So you guys have Eagles. So I'm
Saquon
guessing you're
Barkley.
taking a Eagles
Yeah.
player, right?
I'm
And it's his
taking
birthday.
Saquon Bark.
Oh,
His
that's
birthday's on.
right. I
Yeah, it's his
forgot about that
birthday.
storyline. And
And
DeJean.
Cooper
I was about to
DeJean,
say
birthday
low
too.
key, maybe DeJean Super
Now
Bowl
Saquon's
MVP.
plus 260 right now. Win MVP.
What's Mahomes?
Mahomes is plus
Minus
120.
150 probably.
A
Uh,
minus 150 would be
Jalen
crazy.
Hurts is plus 350. Kelsey is plus 1500.
Damn.
AJ Brown
Good
plus
lord.
3500.
Damn.
Yeah, low key, that Kelsey prop,
It's kind. I know. I know.
that is juicy.
I
Kind
know.
of
I would take
It's a
disrespectful to
that.
little
Kelsey.
juicy.
Yeah.
That's a juicy bet.
I'm
Like
going. I'm going
you put 10 on
cheese.
that?
I,
I'll put 10 on
I
whatever. Fuck it.
Xavier Worthy plus 2800 is not hidden.
No, that's
No.
not hitting.
God, no.
What about what's Devontae
Xavier
Smith?
I don't know. I'm trying to find that. I only had a few that were popped up on this.
Thad Johnson.
Who's like the craziest one you could think of that maybe could happen?
Colton
Juju
Steele.
Smith-Schuster.
Juju?
Juju.
What if
Holy.
what if Juju goes off for like 120 yards, like
What
two
about
deep
I
balls?
got
Pacheco?
I got I got one. Kareem Hunt.
Potential.
Mm.
Wow.
The NFL
Well,
can't
the
let a
thing
wife
is,
beat her.
all he's got to do is get 3 goal line touchdowns and he'd be MVP of the game.
And like 100 yards somehow. And then it'd be
Yeah,
like,
like
yeah.
and a couple catches,
I
Yeah,
could
MVP.
you're
see
good.
I could see that. And like the game winning touchdown.
Yeah, or even
I don't
two
see
touchdowns, 100
yeah.
yards, and 3 catches. He's
So
MVP.
Kareem Hunt is
J
66 to 1 odds. Devontae Smith 66 to 1. Dallas got her 100 to 1.
That's good.
Dallas Goddard? Wait, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I would say
that
Kareem 66 to 1. I mean,
Anyway, it's a defensive player. Jalen Carter
Dude,
66 to
who
1.
what about Cooper DeJean? Because it's his
I thought
birthday.
about Carter too. Like, what if he's just 4 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, like just dogs it out, dude. That
I just don't. Maybe I'm overhyping the Eagles, but I just don't see them allowing a run game.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
that's not what I don't think that's what their
no,
defensive
I don't
focus
think
is
they
going to.
do.
no,
I
no,
don't think
no.
they do.
No, I don't think
That's
so.
not what their defensive focus is going to be. But I don't think they're going to allow a defensive run score unless it's at the 1 yard line.
You got to watch
Like
out for the Eagles, though. I mean, they are a team. Yes, they're good on defense. They're great on defense, actually. But they got some liabilities on that side of the ball. They got some crash outs. CJ
Yeah.
Gardner
yeah,
Johnson, Jalen Carter. There's a couple more, dude, that like in key moments in big games like this,
Yeah.
who knows who's liable to act in which manner, That was
That
such
is
a great
true.
structure of a
it's
sentence.
just hard for me not to see it being either a quarterback, Saquon Barkley, or a Chiefs
Kelsey or something.
Kelsey. I don't see. I mean, like you said, Xavier Worthy's. I have a feeling he's going to be locked up.
Offensive player of the year is Saquon Barkley just now. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I
That
mean,
makes
Surprise.
sense.
he's gonna get offensive player of the year, which he did actually,
Super
and
Bowl.
he's gonna get Super Bowl MVP.
If he does, that's Hall of Fame-esque right there.
Dude, the
Low
Eagles
key.
had 3,048 rush yards this year compared to the Chiefs
Damn.
1,790.
Holy.
Yeah.
3,000
Yeah.
rushing yards for the Eagles this year.
One of
And
those
Saquon
teams
had
has
2,000 of
Saquon
them.
Barkley though.
Mm.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, dude. I think he's gonna win. If I had to pick something for MVP, it would either be Mahomes or Saquon.
Shay
Yeah.
Sean.
Say
I
Sean
know
Barkley.
I know that's the casual pick,
No, I mean
but
you're
It's a
probably
smart
right.
pick.
just the two best players on both teams.
I'm literally just picking the Chiefs because I feel like that's just what's gonna
Kenny
NFL
Pickett
will
MVP.
allow.
Can you pick it? Jalen Hurts tears his ACL first quarter.
Carson
Can you
Wentz
pick
You
it?
would love
MVP.
that,
Carson
bruh.
Wentz versus Kenny Pickett.
Oh, I don't want to watch. Kenny Pickett balled out though that one game.
Against the
Carson Wentz
Commanders.
MVP.
But yeah, dude, I think the Eagles. I think they get it done. I hope they get it done, and
Yeah.
I hope this three-peat never happens. And I don't care. I know I brought up appreciating this kind of shit when it's here, but nah, I'm done. I'm over
Flip.
that. That was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh
I'm
man.
a changed man, and I don't give a shit about the dynasty.
Well, I think that's a good way to go out on the show for the night. I was gonna talk about NBA stuff, but let's just save it for next week.
I don't know anything
I
about
know
that.
you. I know.
I mean,
But
we can talk,
you would have
but
some interesting takes as a guy that doesn't know. I feel like just from the outside
yeah,
looking in.
Okay,
Yeah.
just in
hit me
case.
one real quick.
Let's
Real
we
quick.
got
What
Okay,
I
well,
want to
let's
have a
give
take.
15 minutes.
Okay, what do you
10 minutes
think?
to the
Alright,
NFL.
bet.
What do you think?
I
NBA.
like it.
Literally, how far did the Lakers go with Luca and LeBron? And they just added the center
Okay, this
To the
is
This
what
show.
I know.
season?
To
This
the
season?
show.
this season.
They lost AD, right? Big
Yeah,
man.
big guy.
Who else did? Who else was anyone else included?
They
in that
had
trade?
a young shooting guard named Max Christie who is pretty good.
They still have Reeves, right?
He
Yeah,
balled
Ev
out.
Reeves.
He balled out his
Okay,
first
well,
game.
He did, Brax. He didn't
You
miss his
got
three.
Luca, Reeves, LeBron James. I mean, who else is
Rui
on the
Rui
Lakers?
Hachimura is pretty good.
I've
They
He's
never heard
just
really
of him.
good.
he's just like
He's from Gonzaga. He's
Okay.
Japanese and black.
Yeah.
Is
He's really
JJ
good.
Redick still the coach?
He's the coach, and they've been really solid so far.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't see why they can't go. I mean, I don't know why.
There's no
go
there's
far?
no big threat this year other than you could say the Thunder. I don't know. They're kind of
Are
good
the
now.
Bucks
The
ass?
Celtics are still
Bucks
good.
are kind of in a weird
Bucks are kind of
spot.
yeah,
Like,
they are
have
in a weird
Dame
spot.
and Giannis, but that's really it.
It's not really working out the way they wanted it to.
No.
They did just
But
trade Chris Middleton.
The Nuggets are
yeah,
still solid. They're just not as good as they were a few years ago.
no, I mean NBA
Celtics are good.
championship. Celtics are still good. Celtics might repeat.
Cavs
I
are
mean,
good too, but I don't know how
Cavs are good, but I'm thinking like the Celtics, elite offense, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, and then
Kristaps.
Kristaps and their lock on defense.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. In the NBA this year, you have to play defense because everybody's so good on offense. Everybody can fucking score 30 points a game. Like I'm not saying everybody, but every guard can score a lot. Everybody can shoot really well. Even the 7-2 center can
Yeah, the
shoot
Lakers,
really, really well.
real
I
quick
think
on the Lakers, they have no defense other than basically Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, and Rui / the guy that they just brought in from the Hornets, Mark Williams, the center. But
okay, let's
that's
not act like LeBron isn't good on
no,
defense when
no,
he
no, no.
wants to be.
For sure. I'm thinking more of like guard play. Like they don't, with Austin Reeves and Luca, like they're not covering anybody. They're not guarding.
They're not covering
Nah.
anybody.
No.
I mean, I feel like they can make a playoff run, but I can't see them winning it all. Like
They'll go to the Western Finals and lose to the Thunder. That's my prediction.
Who's
I
winning
can
it
see
all
that.
in NCAA?
Probably Auburn,
Auburn,
honestly.
I don't watch that.
That'd be
Yeah.
lit.
Probably Auburn.
Auburn,
I think Bama's
21
good,
and
but
1.
Bama's probably gonna somehow lose in the Elite Eight or something.
Auburn is gonna have them. They're gonna choke, bro. They were supposed to
No,
go
Auburn's.
far.
If
so
they
Here's
have,
the difference.
if they
I'm a Bama fan, and Auburn's gonna win it all because they have 25 and 24-year-olds on the team, like multiple guys.
okay, don't
No,
let's
but that's
not.
the truth. I'm saying like in
that
college, you have guys that are like UConn or Kentucky would always have the rookies, and that never worked out for a long time. But the guys that like Brunson and the Villanova team, right? They were all seniors. Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. They like We're 23, 24. Y'all have literally Chad Baker Mazzara. He's 25. 24-year-old Denver Jones, 23-year-old, whoever. Janai Broom's 22. I mean, y'all have experience. Like, that's what
Got a
you
team
want.
full
They're
of unks.
experienced. They are old,
You got a
but
team of unks.
All unk team.
I'm just
The
saying,
team, the Unk
dude,
Tigers.
that's wild
Zion.
knowing I'm the same age as a college basketball
That's
player.
crazy, bro. That's
The
crazy.
That
Auburn
is
Unk.
crazy.
But look, y'all are gonna win it all. So congrats.
Well, I don't even want to say that because last year I thought they were going to make a deep run and they lost to Yale,
Hey,
but
Yale, first round.
Well, that was
we
weird.
our biggest liability transferred to Alabama, so I'm not too mad about that.
He's been good though.
So he has been good. He
He's been
developed
good.
well.
He's been
Nate
shooting the
Oates,
lights out.
hey, he was a good shooter for us last year, and then against Yale he went
You
0 for
also
whatever.
you
Like
lost
he
Baker
literally had
Mazzara that
zero.
game.
Yeah, he got disqualified within the
That
first
was
like
that was
4 minutes,
stupid.
within the first 3 minutes of the game. So I'm
Duke's
just
Duke
saying,
and Cooper Flag are really good though.
I could see Duke. I mean, I definitely feel like Duke is going to be a Final Four team. But the thing about Auburn, I don't think they've hit their full potential. They are 21-1, but if you watch the games, they haven't played a complete game yet. Like they haven't played a game where everybody is doing what they're supposed to do the whole time. If they have that game, then yes, they will win the whole thing. But if they are off, like I think our first SEC loss is going to be at Alabama, and you're going to see them really just not shoot well. Defense is going to be lackadaisical, and they're going to let their emotions get the best of them.
That's
But
usually how it goes in that series. Like
yeah,
we lose in Auburn, y'all win in Tuscaloosa, or y'all win in Auburn, we lose. You know what I'm saying? Home team
yeah,
wins.
home team wins again in that series. But
Yeah,
hey, college hoops, I've been invested this year,
me
and not
too.
just because Auburn's good. I'm just so I watch every game just about like SEC is deep, and then
SEC is deep.
Auburn goes up and plays these teams. Like Vanderbilt's a good team,
Top
and
25.
Oklahoma beat them handedly, and then we just beat Oklahoma by 28. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Auburn is actually different. And you're right, maybe it is because they are so experienced. They've got so many career vets, but I
Well,
I just feel like there's going to be a point in the season or a point in the tournament where we're going to get beat by a team that shoots the lights out of the gym.
Telling you.
Like a Jack Golke situation is going to happen against Auburn.
yeah.
Like you're gonna have some random player go for 30 against like a 12 seed.
Auburn's gonna play
Like
ass when they can least afford to play ass.
that's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. And
I
th
don't know.
like they did
Sounds
against
about right.
Yale, dude. Like Yale was like a what, an 11 seed? Auburn was like a 3.
They
It
do
And
the
was
we
it
same
was
thing in
worse.
football
They were like
too.
14 or something. But yeah, no, I
don't
think
tell me that.
they were. But it's all right. Y'all aren't gonna lose to Yale in the first round. Auburn's making the Final Four, that's for sure.
I believe that. I really
Dude,
do,
if
just because
Bama
of
and
how good they
Auburn
are.
me and the Natty, it's over. Like there's gonna be a war.
You know what
Dude,
Oh, that's
that
gonna be
that
awesome.
that on three analyst, he said winning the SEC championship is going to be harder than winning the national
I
championship.
saw that. I was
And
gonna
I
ask you, how
don't
do you feel about Florida, #6, coming into Auburn this weekend?
I hope we lose. We need a loss. We haven't lost in
That's
like 13.
crazy.
Not saying that in a bad way, but like when a team is winning too much, it's never a good thing. And
Yeah.
I think we need to lose a game. Like we need I would rather lose to Florida at home than lose to Bama on the road.
Like
Like,
a little reality
yeah.
check.
A reality check. Humble yourselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
stop making TikToks dancing.
Yep, I
And
hate that.
like lose a game, please. Like I'm not even joking. I've been telling my girlfriend all week. I hope Auburn loses a game before we play Alabama. Like if we don't lose before we go to Alabama and we
Well, this
somehow win,
this is probably the
I'll be
only
so
game,
happy.
the
We
Florida
should
one,
Yeah,
because you're probably gonna. Well, actually, at Vandy might be tough.
we should watch that game in the Discord.
I'll be
it would
down.
be hype.
When is it?
Alabama Auburn game.
It's tomorrow at 4 or Saturday at 4.
Saturday at 4. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
huge
well,
game. I really hope Auburn can pull it out.
Gotta put those
But
bets in, boys.
Put them bets in.
yep.
uh dude,
So
I've been so cold gambling this year. I hate to say it. I
wait, bro.
lost probably lost like $2 grand last year overall.
my.
So
I had a
I need a
good
bounce
month.
back here.
I had a
Need to bounce
December
back.
that was
I haven't
pretty
I haven't
good.
bet
but
all
that was
I haven't bet all month.
I had a rough season.
I had a rough year.
Yeah.
I want to talk about politics.
Mm-mm. All right. Let's wrap it up. It's been a good one. Appreciate everybody listening. Obviously, as always, shout out to you boys. And we'll be back next week. This is the Muffed Sports Show. And yeah, let's see how this plays out in the Super Bowl. Hopefully there's no shadiness.
We'll have
We'll see.
one
Hope
more
not.
moment of silence for Miss McCaskey. Just kidding.
You saw Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank sent like a
Just kidding.
Well, it was more so like a joke, like
great.
I'm just
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
And then we all got
know.
quiet. You
But
were
hey,
never mind.
Hayden's valid. Hayden's valid for actually
I was gonna respect
Hey,
the,
I was
the
respecting
legacy.
it.
She's a
Okay.
legend. She's a legend.
5 seconds.
5 seconds. Bear down. All right. Thank you, Ms. McCaskey. All right, everybody. Have a good night, and thanks for listening.
Good night.